What's up, guys? Meshi here. We're going to be doing another episode of VRchat Paranormal Stories, where we go asking people on VRchat from all around the world if they've ever experienced anything paranormal. Tonight we have a bunch of crazy stories from ghosts, sleep paralysis, aliens. It's going to be a bunch of fun. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks. Let's get into it.
I did see a few craft in the air that I know for a fact were not anything that the United States military had. I know that because I spent some time in it. I know what kind of equipment they had. I know what they were running, and that was not something that we were capable of doing. I'll tell you that for damn sure.
Can you tell me where you were?
Oh, that's why.
I was actually here stateside. This is years and years after being out of the military, but I was just driving around doing my job for the day, and a particular vehicle in front of me stopped, and I stopped, and I happened to look up, and I saw this thing literally floating in the sky up there for a little bit, and first glance, I was like, oh, that's obviously some kind of like blimp or something, and I was like, well, wait a minute. It's windy as shit. There's no way that's a fucking blimp.
Wow.
I mean, they don't put them up in high winds and stuff like that. They blow all the fuck around, and whoever would be piloting it would be in a hell of a lot of danger, so they don't do that shit. Not only that, but it started moving in ways and patterns like a zigzag. There's no blimp I know of that can do that shit.
Yeah, just changing direction instantly, going really fast.
Well, it wasn't necessarily like it was moving. It's like all of a sudden it was here and then it was there.
That's pretty wild, man.
So, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I actually stopped. I took some video footage of it, and I actually sent it to my wife, because I was like, holy shit, take a look at this fucking thing.
Was the video quality good? Did it get anything?
I mean, it got a little bit of it. You could see the outline of the craft itself and things like that. I would say it was kind of oblong cigar-shaped, kind of bulbed in the middle. So, I mean, it was kind of like a fat cigar in the middle and, you know, slimmer and even on each end.
That's wild. Well, shit, Sun Tzu.
Made no fucking sound.
You know, that's the second time I've heard a story like that, as to where the aircraft isn't making a sound. Like, they had this one guy, he went outside on his front porch and saw like a helicopter beam of light, almost. Like, it was big, bright, covering his front lawn, and it made no sound. And it sat there for like a minute.
Yeah, I mean,
and a half.
it's eerie because, you know, if there's an aircraft, you can hear it while you're standing on the ground. Like, you can hear a plane flying overhead, a jet. You can hear, you know, any kind of other, you know, single prop aircraft or single wing type, you know, the old gasoline type that aren't the turbines and stuff. You can hear all of that, and this thing made no sound.
When I was pretty deep, I haven't been able to practice in a while since I moved in with my parents.
Practice as far
but
as what are you Wiccan?
Witchcraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wicca.
Okay.
But my best friend in college, she lived on a plantation home built in the 1800s, and
Sure.
we used to visit there a lot. One experience specifically, I only stayed the night there twice, and that's because like the first time I heard footsteps in the hallway and got really like gut clenching feeling, and so I just like went back. I forced myself to go back to sleep.
Right.
But one time, it was me, my best friend, our other friend, and her brother, and like a few of our family members. We were all in the balcony, and they were smoking. They were smoking weed. And the longer I stay there, the more I get a bit disassociated. Like, I get like dissociated, and then I start feeling like weird things. And I swear, on my life, I saw shadows out in their like front yard, and I started freaking out. I was like, "Do you guys see like there's someone fucking out there?" And turns out there wasn't anyone out there, but where I was seeing people was where the slave home was on
Okay.
the property when back in the day before they tore it down.
Wow.
And there's also one experience. My house, just in general, is pretty haunted in more than one way. I experienced this back in probably 2019. I woke up in the middle of the night.
I'm out.
I was visiting home from college, and I was just staying for like winter break, and I woke up and I saw a little boy, and he had these like very like, you know how you see the pictures online where you see people that just have those like eyes that are just like white dots, like they don't have any. Like he
Yeah.
had that, and he had like this stupid ass bowl cut haircut. Sorry if you're in this room right now. I'm not trying to make fun of you, but it was a fucking bowl cut haircut.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I saw him staring me down from the side of my bed, and so I just rolled over. I just rolled over and went to bed. I don't deal with. I was like, I just rolled over. I was like, I'm not dealing with this shit right now. I'm going back to sleep. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
not gonna address it.
I didn't see you. You didn't see me.
And I woke, and then like months later, I called my best friend from high school, and I was telling her about this, and I didn't even get into the description. I was just like, I woke up and I saw this boy. She cuts me off and says, "Is it the boy with the creepy face and the weird bowl cut?" And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?" She's like, she's like, whenever I would stay at your house at night, I would see him, but I didn't say anything because I didn't know if you knew about it or not. Yeah, yeah.
My wife actually has the story. You guys want to hear it?
Please. Please.
I was living in this house in Chesterville, Missouri, up on a big old hill when I was about 4 or 5 years old. And all throughout my young childhood, every night in my room, I would see what I thought was a witch on the back of my door, and I could literally hear her cackling in my head. Eventually we moved out. Later find out that an old woman had died in the bedroom that I was living in, and she absolutely despised children and would love to heckle them and scare them. And what I thought what looked like a witch's hat, apparently she always wore a sun hat.
Get out of here.
I saw it till I was about 8 years old, and we moved out. My dad told me he looked into the property, and the previous owner had said how their grandmother had died, and she just loved to scare the crap out of children, and it was my room she died in.
What did your parents think whenever you told them that? They believed you, or like instantly, or did they have a little?
And my dad
Pullback.
believed me. My dad's actually Wiccan, so he's into all that, believes in all that, and they actually found like paranormal things in her belongings that were left over.
Oh wow.
And pretty much what my dad was thinking was that she might have done something to where she could keep on, you know, giving kids trouble if they move into her house.
Don't worry, I don't either.
Yeah,
One
like a
more jar, just
restless
leave it on my third
spirit.
monster, let's go.
Pretty much. She just wasn't even restless. It was literally like she got her shits and giggles from scaring the shit out of me.
At least some
Yeah,
gods.
but she's stuck there.
Yeah, my audio, bro.
Thanks so much for sharing,
Actually,
though.
I'm not sure if she's stuck there. They actually tore down the house and turned it into an Applebee's.
Get out of here. That Applebee's is getting haunted. For sure.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I've really ever experienced was a
Some upgrades.
when I was, I want to say like 10 or 11 years old. I was sleeping at one point, or you know, going to bed and whatnot, and I woke up in the middle of the night, like struggling to breathe. Kind of felt like someone was sitting on my chest, just pressing into it, and I couldn't breathe, couldn't scream, really couldn't do anything.
That's pretty strange.
That's really the only thing I can think of.
Do you remember what
The
was
strange
happening
part
in
is
the
my
dream?
brother had that
If it happened to me
No, I just was like, I was awake, or at least I thought I was awake.
I gotta get up.
And
Wait, so
the weird part was my brother had that like same experience a couple years beforehand in the same bedroom.
no, huh?
Oh wow.
And it's kind of that's the part that kind of spooked me. I was
That
like,
is
"Ooh."
that is weird.
Yeah, that's what I did last night.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah. Besides that, nah,
Hey man,
nothing.
I heard a story recently that this girl had a dream that somebody was choking her, and sure as shit she woke up with a red handprint on her neck.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not the only one that's ever experienced that, for sure.
That, I didn't have any marks or anything, but that, yeah, if I was to wake up with that, I'd be horrified.
Well,
Did
glad
this
we're-
continue on, or was it just a one-time thing? Did you move out of the house?
No, it was just a one-off thing, and we moved out of that house like, I want to say like 3 years after that.
You think anybody?
It was just really weird. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Anybody else other than you and your brother? Like maybe your parents? Did you think? I know y'all were kind of really young, but did you see anything off with your parents? Like maybe they might have known something was going on, but didn't want to tell you.
We can have it interact.
I know my my dad when we were in that house, cause I don't want to say this.
He seemed a little off.
He definitely thought something was up.
Yeah.
Because my mom passed away when we were living in that house,
Oh,
and
sorry to hear that.
after that, that's fine. You didn't know. Ever since that happened, there were a couple things that happened that were just off or really strange, like the light above our kitchen sink at random points would either just not work, like you turn it on, flick the light switch, nothing would happen, or it would just come on at just random points, sitting there minding your business, and just like, oh, I'm just eating food, and then light comes on, it's like, the fuck?
That's straight. And the switch was flipped.
Yeah, it's just really odd.
That's insane. That's insane.
But yeah, that's really about the extent of spooky stuff that's happened.
When I was in college, my mom would use my room as like a guest room, so her friends would come and stay the night here.
Right.
And they would ask her multiple times. They were like, "Did she ever have like ghost experiences?" And she was like, "Yeah, all the time. Why?" Her friends apparently would they would wake up in the morning and see the door handle twisting open, and the door would open by itself.
Let's hear
I
it.
was like a tiny fetus, a little toddler.
I can appreciate this.
I was going in to let my dog in. As I'm coming back in, I just see like this small little ghost girl, all in pure white, long hair, white dress, just floated to my grandma's stair closet. When I opened the door, she just wasn't there anymore. Never saw it again either.
Wow.
And I didn't imagine stuff as a kid.
You know, I talked to one girl from Australia that her and her brother saw the same old man that would walk around their old ass property in Australia. Like, and their parents never saw it. Like, they would be outside at the same time. I've heard stories like that before,
No.
for sure. Like, it's wild.
The only weird thing is my grandma knew about it.
Really.
Yeah.
When I was new to Wicca, I did a lot of dumb shit, and we did my friends talked me into trying to do a seance once on the Trail of Tears, like directly in a field, and we saw I don't know how much y'all are into like cryptids and things. There's like shadow people and things like that.
I'm very familiar.
We're both well versed.
Meshi has brought it to my attention. He's very familiar as well.
So after we did it, we were getting really, really bad vibes, so we immediately stopped it. And it was my birthday, so we were like, oh, well, we'll just drink and smoke and have a good time. So like to try to diffuse the tension we could feel, like you could feel it in the air.
Right.
Two of our friends walked out into a field, and so it was me and my other best friend, and we were smoking, and both of us saw like black skeletons crawling out of the ditch, and so we flipped the fuck out and got in the car and just hid in there for like an hour or so because it was just fucking terrifying. Oh yeah, we don't go on that road anymore.
Hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was a great night, great stories. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.